Have you ever noticed the small shifts in behavior that quietly slip in as the years stack up? Changes that, without meaning to, create distance between us and the people we care about. It's something many discover in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, when life should be settling into one of its richest chapters. And this isn't just about moving slower or gaining a few wrinkles. It's about the subtle habits that can push others away without us realizing it. In my years supporting older adults, I've seen this pattern so often. People don't drift apart suddenly. It happens in tiny steps. Consider Margaret, a lively 72-year-old who once filled every room with warmth. She was known for her stories and quick wit. But over time, calls lessened, visits faded, and she found herself wondering, what changed? Her experience reflects so many others. Before we go deeper, tell me, has any of this hit close to home? If so, just type yes in the comments so I know you're walking through this with me. All right, let's dive in together. Section 1. Growing overly pessimistic or judgmental. Margaret never thought of herself as negative. She saw herself as honest, realistic. But gradually, her conversations filled with complaints, aches, worries about the world, concerns about her grandkids' choices. Conversations grew shorter. People stopped dropping by. Even her grandkids visited less often. When she consciously shifted to opening conversations with something positive, something changed. People stayed longer. They smiled more. They shared more. Instead of starting with a complaint, try beginning with gratitude. Maybe a beautiful sunrise, a good night's rest, or simply being here. Keep venting short and solutions focused. Swap judgment for curiosity. Tell me more about that. If one small change has helped you connect better, comment uplift below. Section 2. Overlooking self-care and appearance. For years, Margaret loved bright outfits, neat hair, and her signature perfume. But as she aged, she caught herself thinking, who am I trying to impress? Slowly, she stopped caring for herself in the ways she once enjoyed. But how you present yourself shapes how you feel inside. Neglecting that can chip away at your confidence and subtly disconnect you from the world. When Margaret looked back at old photos, she barely recognized the vibrant woman she once was. So she brought back small touches, brushed hair, a favorite blouse, a little color on her lips. She immediately felt more alive. Prepare yourself each morning, even if you're staying home. Choose colors that lift your spirit. Wear something that reminds you of who you are. What's one small grooming habit that boosts your mood? Share it with Shine. Section 3. Staying rigid and avoiding new ways. Margaret loved her routines and felt she didn't need to change what already worked. So when her grandkids started communicating mostly through short messages, she didn't bother learning. That choice slowly separated her from their world. But life keeps evolving, and staying open keeps us connected. When her granddaughter finally showed her how to text, Margaret realized how simple it was. More importantly, she reconnected with her family in a new way. Next time something new comes your way, try saying, I'll give it a try. If you've learned something new that helped you stay connected, comment Explore. Section 4. Holding on to too much clutter. Margaret loved her belongings. Each one held a story. But over time, her warm home became crowded, making it stressful to move around or host guests. Too much clutter doesn't just fill a room, it fills the mind. When she finally began letting things go, she felt lighter. Suddenly, her home felt welcoming again. Start small, a drawer, a shelf. Ask, do I use this? Does it bring joy? If not, release it. Clearing your space clears your mind. If you've ever let go of something meaningful and felt relief, share with release. Section 5. Getting irritated too quickly. Margaret didn't think of herself as short-tempered, but she found herself snapping at small things. Slow clerks, loud neighbors, minor delays. Stress builds with age, but frustration only harms us more. When she saw the discomfort she caused a young cashier, something clicked. So next time she offered a kind word, and the clerk lit up. That moment changed everything. Take a breath before reacting. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Kindness always takes you further. If patience is something you're working on, type calm. Section 6. Talking too much and listening too little. With a lifetime of stories, Margaret often dominated conversations. Her son began calling less, ending chats quickly. She didn't realize she was talking more than listening. When he gently shared how he felt, Margaret made a change. She asked more questions, paused more, and truly listened. Their relationship deepened almost immediately. Aim for balanced conversations. Put distractions aside. Offer your full presence. That is one of the greatest gifts. If listening is something you value, drop here. Section 7. Refusing help instead of accepting it. Margaret prided herself on independence. So when a neighbor offered help carrying groceries, she refused again and again. But refusing help doesn't strengthen independence. It weakens connection. Eventually, she realized pushing people away made her feel more alone. The next time, she said yes, and felt her sense of community return. Allow people to help. It makes them feel valued too. If accepting help is tough, type aid. Section 8. Saving too strictly to enjoy life. Margaret had saved well, but she rarely let herself enjoy anything. She turned down trips, dinners, and small treats out of fear of what if. But life isn't only about storing, it's about living. A friend convinced her to take a short trip, and she hadn't smiled that much in years. That trip reminded her why she saved in the first place. Create a small joy budget. Spend on memories, not just necessities. If you've held off on something fun because of cost, comment savor. Section 9. Dismissing younger people's experiences. Margaret adored her granddaughter, but she often compared the present to the good old days, which made Lily feel misunderstood. When she switched to curiosity, what do you enjoy about that? Their bond strengthened. Different generations see the world differently. Meet them where they are. If you've ever bridged a generational gap, type link. Section 10. Holding onto old hurts and regrets. Margaret often replayed old arguments, betrayals, and missed chances, but clinging to what's gone steals joy from the present. With encouragement from a friend, she wrote down her burdens and let them go. That small act gave her more peace than she had felt in years. Forgive for your own healing. Release what no longer serves you. If you've let go of something heavy, type free. Section 11. Ignoring body signals. Because Margaret valued independence, she ignored dizziness and vision changes until she fell and suffered a serious injury. Many assume symptoms are just aging, but small signs can point to preventable issues. After recovering, she committed to regular checkups, proper hydration, and exercises for strength and balance. True independence comes from caring for your health. Listen to your body. If you've ever ignored a symptom you shouldn't have, comment vital. Section 12. Forgetting to seek joy and laughter. Margaret looked at old photos and realized she hadn't truly laughed in a long time. Life had become routine, quiet, predictable. When a friend invited her to a comedy night, she nearly said no. But she went, laughed hard, and felt her spirit lighten. The next day she danced in her kitchen. Joy had returned. Make room for fun. Watch something funny. Spend time with uplifting people. Revive old hobbies. If laughter has helped you recently, comment giggle. Closing. Today we covered 12 habits that can unintentionally distance us from the people and experiences that make life rich. Awareness is the first step. Action is the second. What's one promise you'll make today? Maybe. I'll start my morning with gratitude. I'll listen more deeply. I'll accept help when it's offered. Share your commitment below so we can lift each other up. And think of one person who might benefit from this message. Send it their way. You never know what change it might spark. Thank you for being here. Stay strong, stay self-aware, and I'll see you in the next conversation.